Alexander the Great, one of the most famous names in history. A man who conquered an empire larger than anyone before him, shaping the world as we know it. But was he a living legend, or just a myth made larger than life? Hi, I'm Arafat, and today we're diving into the story of Alexander the Great, his rise to power, his conquests, and how his legacy has evolved over the centuries. Was he truly the extraordinary military genius his legend suggests, or is there more myth than reality behind the man? Born in 356 BCE in the ancient kingdom of Macedon, Alexander was the son of King Philip II and Queen Olympias. From an early age, he was groomed for greatness. Alexander's early life was steeped in legend. His tutor was none other than the philosopher Aristotle, who taught him everything from philosophy to science. But was this mentorship really as influential as we're led to believe? Alexander's early education and his close relationship with his father set the stage for his ambitious conquest of the world. But how much of this education did he truly embrace? While some sources portray Alexander as a brilliant student, others argue his interest in philosophy was secondary to his thirst for power and military success. At just 20 years old, Alexander inherited the throne after his father's assassination. In the years that followed, he would embark on an unprecedented campaign of conquest. His first major victory was the Battle of Granicus in 334 BCE. The early victories were nothing short of legendary, but did they truly reflect Alexander's genius, or was he simply lucky and well-positioned? Some historians argue that Alexander was more of a charismatic leader than a tactical mastermind. Alexander's most famous victory came at the Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BCE, where he decisively defeated the Persian king Darius III. It was a battle that secured his place in history. As Alexander's empire expanded, so did his legend. After his victories, he began to adopt divine titles, and some even believed he was the son of the Greek god Zeus. Was Alexander truly a godlike figure in the eyes of his people, or was this just clever propaganda to solidify his power? Throughout history, rulers have used myth to elevate their status, and Alexander was no exception. In Egypt, Alexander was hailed as a god, and in Persia, he was declared the successor to the great kings of the past. But these claims were as much about political control as they were about myth-making. At the age of 32, Alexander died suddenly in 323 BCE in the city of Babylon. The cause of his death remains a mystery. Was it illness, poisoning, or something more sinister? The suddenness of Alexander's death only added to the mystique surrounding him. With no clear heir, his empire fragmented, but his myth continued to grow. People believe that even after his death, Alexander's spirit lived on in the lands he conquered. Though his empire fell apart after his death, Alexander's influence can still be felt today. From the spread of Greek culture across the world to the cities that bear his name, Alexander's legacy is undeniable. So, was Alexander the Great a living legend or a myth made by historians and storytellers? The truth likely lies somewhere in between. A man who was both a military genius and a master of myth, shaping the world in ways that still affect us today. History often blurs the line between man and myth, and in the case of Alexander the Great, that line may never be fully drawn. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the legend of Alexander the Great, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. What do you think? Was Alexander a true legend or just a man turned myth? Let us know in the comments below.